When asked to describe a library, I think most of us can agree that we would say something along the lines of it being a building where we can go get books. We tend to think of the stereotypical libraries in the past that were strictly all about books. But as a student at the University of Kentucky, I can tell you that a library has so much more to offer than just books. Today, that idea is shifting as education is becoming increasingly more important. The library is becoming a habitual environment for students, and the culture of the library is having more of an influence on students than they know. As I was walking around the library, I noticed a girl with short curly hair who had in her headphones and was tapping her pencil along to what seemed to be a beat. When I approached her, I found out her name was Emily. She is also a student at the University of Kentucky. I decided to ask her how she felt when she came into the Willie T. Young Library on campus. Her response was,
When I walk into Willie T. Young Library, I feel inspired. I feel inspired because of the way the building is built and how nice it is inside. Also, I like how you can't see the books when you first walk through the doors. All you see is other students working at the long tables or in the cubbies. I feel that they have hidden the books in the way they did because in today's day and age, we as a peer group are more technologically driven rather than having to use books as a way to study or to convey research.
Emily feels a sense of empowerment when she walks into the library, almost as if she can conquer everything she needs to get done to the best of her ability. A library is a great place for people to gather together to explore what our minds have to offer, whether it is writing, studying, reading, watching, creating, listening, or even socializing. The library offers a space for everyone. Today, the use of libraries seems to be growing in many different aspects because of the demands from society. The library is becoming more flexible when it comes to implementing the elements of the past with the new demands that are being created today. Emily made a really interesting point when she mentioned that when you first walk in, it doesn't feel like any typical library because the books are not instantly visible. The thing that you notice before the books are the students. Whether they are in comfortable cushioned chairs or at long tables, they are the main focus. When you look beyond the walls of the students, you can then see the books. It could be because this is more inviting because our generation is obviously really involved with technology rather than books. The next question that I asked Emily is, why is that point so important and how does it really affect the students?
It is beneficial to the students that the books are hidden because students can feel overwhelmed by their course load or exams, and if they have to be surrounded by multiple books, they might feel more stressed and they don't
The
want to.
advancement of technology has definitely brought different demands to the surface, creating a change in the structure and traditional principles of the library. It is really interesting seeing the difference in how generations come in contact with a library. Different age groups create different habitats in the space. Today, many students use it as a more of a social interaction, especially on a college campus. The thing is that most of these students on a college campus are not using the library for the resource of books. Younger people today are figuring out how to use the space and binding it with a technological environment. Many students use the library website while in the library to look up books on the internet rather than going and physically getting the book. I believe that the culture in the Willie T. Young Library has much to do with technology and the social interactions. In the library, there are long tables where most of the time big groups of friends are studying together. I approached a girl named Katie because she was sitting with a group of people and they were each studying off of their computers. The first question I asked her was, does she come to the library more by herself or with her friends?
I normally come to the library with friends just because I like to sit with people when I'm there and I don't want to be by myself. And it's more fun to study if I've got a group of people rather than just studying on my own in the library.
As we can tell, the culture of the Willie T. Young Library is definitely based off of the fact that the students use it to socially interact. Because, like Katie said, she doesn't want to be there by herself. This is really interesting that this environment has created a habitual action of always being around people. There was an article called Younger Americans of Public Libraries that did a study about certain age groups visiting public libraries. The study found that college age students are less likely to use public libraries than other age groups. This could be because our generation has built a world around being social, for example, the serious increase in the use of social media. Students might be less likely to visit libraries if they are going by themselves or might get bored. The students of the University of Kentucky have created their library to be a place that they get work done and are productive, but also enjoy spending time and hanging out with friends. I then asked Katie about how she uses the library and the resources that it offers.
I come to the library a lot to be able to get some studying done for my major. In the 4 years I've been coming to the library, I've never checked out a book or even looked at the books for that matter. Instead of using the books, I use a lot of the online resources that the library offers through their website. Nursing's focused on research and evidence-based articles, and these are easier to find using the databases online from the UK library rather than actually going through the books or the written resources that the library has.
It was very striking to me that Katie said that she has never used the books in the Willie T. Young Library, but yet she used the resources she could through technology. The most interesting thing I have found is that the culture of the Willie T. Young Library is different than the typical stereotype that is perceived in our thoughts. It is a place where students are inspired to do their work, engage in social and technological interactions, while still creating a professional but chill atmosphere.